Hi, I'm Yuri.
And I'm Mimi. Today we'll be answering one of the science questions sent to us at FM High School. Truth from Mrs. Bland's class at Fayetteville Elementary asked, "What are brains made of?" According to scientists at the University of Washington, 10% of our brains are made of things like salts and protein. The largest part, the other 90%, is made up of water and fats. That might sound weird to you. Aren't water and fats in food? It's true that foods like ice cream are mostly water, fat, and sugar. But in the brain, water and fat combine to create stuff called gray matter and white matter. Gray matter is mostly made of neurons, which are special cells. What is a cell, you ask? Dictionary.com says that cells are the basic building block of all living things. Humans are made of trillions of tiny cells, some of which have special jobs. Think of cells as Legos. Some of them are longer or different colors, but they all come together to make a whole building or system. Now, back to our special neuron cells. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary says that neurons are cells whose job is to carry messages between the brain and other parts of the body. A chain of neurons communicates by passing a small signal along the line. It's like a game of telephone. The brain is in charge of everything and sends the original message out. Each neuron relays this message to the next in line, eventually reaching the body part it was meant for. The whole process is extremely fast. It's how your brain tells your muscles to move when you want to catch a ball. It can also go in reverse. Nerves are the bundles of neurons that run throughout your whole body. When you get a paper cut, nerves pick up the feeling of pain and send it back to your brain. This might seem annoying. Who likes feeling hurt when they fall down? But feeling pain is an important sign that tells your body to get away from the fire or stop stepping on nails. It's your brain's way of keeping you safe. Now that we've talked about the neurons in gray matter, what's white matter? Scientists at Indiana University Bloomington say that white matter is made of nerves that connect different parts of gray matter together. And now that we've talked about the building blocks of the brain, let's zoom out and look at the brain as a whole. Our brain takes up about 80% of the inside of our skull. The other 20% is blood and cerebrospinal fluid, which is the clear liquid that cushions your brain and prevents it from being rocked around inside your skull. It's important to cushion your brain because it's responsible for a lot of jobs in the human body. Many scientists, like the ones at the University of Washington, have discovered that the brain is divided into many parts with many different functions. The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. The cerebrum is divided into 4 parts called lobes: the frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe, and occipital lobe. The frontal lobe controls emotions and problem solving, and it also contains the motor cortex, which controls movement. The parietal lobe is what makes you feel touch, temperature, and pain. The temporal lobe controls hearing and memory, and the occipital lobe controls vision. Another section of the brain is the cerebellum, and it controls movement and balance. The last section of the brain that we'll talk about is the brainstem. It controls important body functions like breathing, reflexes, and the fight-or-flight response. The fight-or-flight response is when your body decides whether you should either fight and defend yourself or run away to safety when you're faced with a scary situation like a hungry bear in the woods. To sum it up, the brain is made of gray matter and white matter. Gray matter is made of neurons which send information between the brain and body. The brain is divided into parts called lobes, which control most of your bodily functions. And that's all we have for today, folks. Hope we answered your question, Truth, and that all of you watching learned something new about your brains.